Hello again, everybody. I'm Snapper Lancaster, welcoming you to another edition of the Central Alabama High School Sports Show. First off tonight, I'd like to thank my buddy Max Harbuck for sitting in for me last week. I got a little bit of a break, and my wife and I really enjoyed it, and I appreciate Max helping me out. We got a busy show for tonight, got two outstanding coaches, outstanding athletes on the way. But first I want to tell you, as we talked about numerous times, the springtime is one of the busiest times in high school athletics because you've got a lot of sports, boys and girls in action, and it's playoff time. And matter of fact, we've had a couple of championships already decided. We'll tell you about that in just a moment. Right now, going into the playoffs, as baseball and softball in particular are getting started, baseball playoffs already. In Class 7A, in the top 10, you got Vestavia, Hills, Hoover, and Hewitt Trustful from the Birmingham area. And in Class 6A, in Class 5A, you've got Helena, because 6A didn't have any team in the top 10 this week. In softball, of course, it looks like in Class 6A, we've got 3 or 4 teams from from the Birmingham area. And so we're expecting, once again, some outstanding teams, maybe some championships to come from those teams. We've got soccer, for instance. We got a unique situation in Class 7A. The number one soccer team in the boys and girls is Oak Mountain. And wouldn't you know it, last year, they ended up number one for the season. So what's that old saying? They're picking up where they left off last year, and that's exactly what they're doing. We talked about the fact we've already had 2 spring championships already decided. In Class 7A, golf, both boys and girls champions. For the boys, it was Mountain Brook, and for the girls, it was Vestavia Hills. And we hope to be recognizing as many of these champions as we can before we go off the air this spring. But for right now, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, our first guest of the evening, so don't you go away.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. Oh, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
Good driver discount, multi-car discount, good student discount. Helping you save money on car insurance is just part of the service you get from State Farm agent Jack Traffinstead. Whether an accident or a simple question, Jack and his staff get you the help you need. And that's the value only a State Farm agent can provide. Call Jack Traffinstead today. 40 million drivers already know nobody gives more discounts to more drivers than State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The next time you need electrical work, whether it be commercial or residential, you need to call Huffman Electrical Contractors. A company that's been in business for over 35 years. They've served clients not only locally in the Birmingham area and all over the state, but have clients outside the state of Alabama as well. Whether it's a new building or remodeling an older building or home, they can handle the job for you. Once again, that's Huffman Electrical Contractors. The number to call is 205-661-5005. That's 205-661-5005. Where at Huffman Electrical Contractors, a satisfied customer is always their number one objective. And folks, welcome back. In this first segment, as we talked about before, we got a very successful ladies soccer coach, and of course we're talking about Ms. Bridget Littleton of the Vestavia Hills Rebels. And Coach Littleton, always good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
And for people that might be seeing you for the first time, before we get into talking about this year's team and the success that y'all have had thus far, tell us a little bit about your background and what's led you to being the soccer coach there at Vestavia.
When I was a kid, I played soccer growing up since I was about 4 years old. We moved here to Hoover, and I started playing at Hoover Rec Club, and then played club soccer and high school soccer, and played college. And then when I finished college, I came back home and I wanted to coach soccer again. I wanted to be a part of it because my playing days were pretty much over from injury. So I started coaching and teaching at Hoover, and then took a little bit of break from soccer, and missed it so much, and had the opportunity to come to Vestavia, and haven't looked back.
Yeah. How many years now?
This is my 12th year, I believe, at Vestavia.
My goodness, boy, the time has flown away.
It goes really fast.
And you talking about that 12 years, this is my 17th to do this show, and it just doesn't seem like it's been that long. But now talking about this year's team, going into this year, and I know you've been very successful through the years. Did you expect this team to be as good as it's been thus far this year?
Honestly, I knew that we were going to be good, I didn't think that we would finish in section 6-0 and only have one goal scored against us. So the fact that we're having such a good season, and we've beat a lot of good teams, it's not really surprising because we've improved since day one. We were, I saw some things at the beginning of the season that we had to fix, and I had to get buy-in and commitment from the girls. And when they came in August, the first day, they were committed. And then when we started practice and I said, we have to do it, all together, we have to do it this way, they committed to it. So, it's a little surprising, but it's, knowing the seniors that we have and the leadership that we have, it's not surprising, not at this moment, not at this time.
When you've been involved in soccer in a long time and coached a long time, tell me, in your opinion, talk about the evolution of the female athlete, because it seems like the soccer players nowadays are more dedicated. They spend more time getting to be the best they can be physically as well as mentally. But talk about the evolution of the young soccer players today.
Well, when I was a kid, I just played in the yard a lot. I know that sounds very, trite, but I didn't have a whole lot of coaching outside. I didn't spend hours at with a personal trainer, and I didn't spend time with, I practiced a lot, of course, and I played year-round when I got to the upper level, but nowadays, kids are specializing way early as far as soccer is concerned, and they're spending a whole lot of time individual with trainers and coaches, and but what they're not doing is they're not lifting weights. They're not, getting in shape physically. As far, they're conditioned really well and they can run, but they're not strong. Their upper body's not strong, so they're overtrained on their lower body. Mm-hmm. Therefore, we see a lot of injuries. So in that area, so the evolution of soccer is good in the fact that they're getting more touches on the ball, but it's also counterproductive to overtrain. And so we focus a lot on fitness as far as getting strength training, getting stronger, and from August to January, we're trying to build as much muscle as possible so that we can withstand the season, because our season's so long. I mean, we start practicing in January, we're still playing, and it's almost May. Right. So, and also, gaining muscle strength and conditioning is paramount for injury prevention. So as far as the evolution of soccer players, that they're improving on the ball training, but they're also they're also a little overtrained, and I talk to my girls about that, and there's a lot of pressure from club coaches to play year round, play, but there's also there's two sides. I mean, they're going to get better if they play all the time. They're also going to have nagging injuries.
Well, one question that I would ask you too, because I know that this is happening in a lot of sports. Do you, is your philosophy is that you'd like for your girls to participate in more than just soccer, or are you one of these coaches that nowadays it seems like kids are specializing more in one sport instead of like back when we were in school playing multiple sports? Right,
I do encourage, at Vestavia we don't have a whole lot of athletes, because we're we are 7A, we're considered a big school, but we don't have a whole lot of athletes, so we need to share athletes. Mm-hmm. Now, I only have a few soccer girls that play more than one sport, and I do encourage it, and I try to make every opportunity for them to play more than one sport. So I definitely encourage it, and I think it, they need a break from whatever sport they're playing, you know, soccer at the time. Also, they're developing other muscle groups, so they're not overtraining, you know, so I mean, and they become complete athletes and not, you know, just a soccer player. They're more of a complete athlete.
Right.
But at the same time, I know that, you know, the training that they do is why they're so good now, you know.
Well, usually, and I'm looking at your team's record, and 18-2.
I think, yeah, or 19-2, yeah.
19-2, and you're undefeated in area play.
Yes.
And so you haven't had peaks and valleys. This team has been good all year long. So I guess the number one thing that every coach wants is their athletes to peak come playoff time. Well, in your case, the one thing that you can hope for is, to me, is they haven't played their best soccer yet. Now, having said that, they have played very well all season long. So what you're hoping for is they stay right where they're at, I guess.
No, I want us to improve. You know, I want us to play better than what we've played in the past. And, you know, we are playing better than we were at the beginning of the season, a lot better. We were really shaky. I mean, we allowed some really easy goals in the beginning of the season.
Cheap goals, we call them.
Yeah, I mean, they were good goals, but there was like, our stat would be like they'd have one shot on goal and they'd score that one shot. So we're trying to improve that. Also, we're trying to improve on finishing, you know, like finishing the ball when it's there. So also, and the other part I wanted to say is that, you know, we've been playing well all season, but we haven't been playing well all season with a set 11. So that's where our bench comes in, and we have a deep bench, so it's beneficial for us. The one thing that I do hope we do is play with some consistency going in the last half of the season, because we need to know that if we play a ball in a certain spot, if we play, that there's going to be someone to finish that. And that's really, you know, as far as the girls, what they know, what they're doing, what we have talked about, what we've practiced, they know where to go, they know what to do. Now it's just will and want, you know. Do they have the desire to finish the season the way they want to, or, you know, is it within them? So that's all. That's really what it comes down to right now.
Well, one thing about it, you've had a great season thus far, and we hope it's far from over, okay?
Me too.
Always good to see you. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to visit with three young ladies, very instrumental in the success Vestavia's soccer team has had thus far this year. We'll be right back.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. Now, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
The next time you need electrical work, whether it be commercial or residential, you need to call Huffman Electrical Contractors, a company that's been in business for over 35 years. They've served clients not only locally in the Birmingham area and all over the state, but have clients outside the state of Alabama as well. Whether it's a new building or remodeling an older building or home, they can handle the job for you. Once again, that's Huffman Electrical Contractors. The number to call is 205-661-5005. That's 205-661-5005. Where at Huffman Electrical Contractors, a satisfied customer is always their number one objective.
And this will be your premium right here.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say I combined home and auto with State Farm.
Saved $760.
Love this guy.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Bundle home and auto, and you could save $760.
That's 760 very good reasons to call Alan Gardendale in Trussville today.
And folks, welcome back. As you can see, I've got three very pretty young athletes up here, but they're also good athletes. They don't just look pretty. And all of them are seniors. We're talking about Lindsay Copeland, defender, as a senior. Kennedy Hicks, senior as well, forward. And then finally, Abigail Albritton, senior. And you're the center fielder.
I'm a defender also.
A defender also.
Yes, sir.
Well, now that just shows you how well I was listening, how smart I was when I listened to Coach. I missed that part. All of you defenders?
She's a forward.
I'm a forward, yes, sir.
Forward, okay. Yes, of course, I've got that down too. So you're an offensive player?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now I got it. So the offense, I know you're trying to put that ball in the net.
Yes, sir.
All right, going into this season, and we'll start with you, Lindsay. Going into this season, you girl at 19-2 or something like that, and that's pretty close to accurate, I think. But it's like Coach and I, we were talking. I didn't see many peaks and valleys, but she said there've been times in the season where y'all played better and then a lot more steady than others. Going into this season, did you foresee this kind of season for you girls?
Well, like every year you don't really know what you're going to get or who's going to come out and who's going to we've never had a starting 11 that we know going on like for tryouts. Oh, these are our 11 that are going to perform every game. And so it kind of changes up. So like everybody has to work hard. So you know that you're going to have a hard-working group that's all fighting for a position. So it's just about like how we come out in the games. And so we've had like bad games and good games, but everybody's worked really hard.
So evidently, Kennedy, and I'll let you expand on this a little bit. Evidently, you girls are looking for consistency in yourselves. That you want to be playing at that peak level all the time, not just up and down, right?
Yes, sir.
So one thing that's very important from a team aspect is team chemistry. Now, young ladies are a little bit different than young guys. I mean, y'all girls can be high-spirited and, you know, I'm saying it nice, but, you know, sometimes you can be a little problem child sometimes. Now, having said that, talk about the chemistry on y'all's team. What's it been like? Because it can make you a better or a worse team.
Exactly. I think it all started by preseason. Since we worked together so well before we even got to the season, I think it has to do with like our workouts before. And we've already, we've had times where we've been able to have team get-togethers and things like that so that we could get more comfortable with each other outside of the field, which makes the chemistry on the field a lot better.
Well, I believe you're absolutely correct. Abigail, what were the goals that you set for yourself personally as well as team goals?
Well, I mean, going into every season, my goal is always to just push myself to be a better soccer player. And then you have certain individual skills that you always focus on. And then as a team, we all want to become better individually, and we all want to help each other to become better. But we also still have that end goal of ending up on top.
Well, that's the goal for any athlete, I think. Whatever sport it is, you want to be the best you can be. Lindsay, who is the #1 rival for the soccer team?
I would have to say Oak Mountain.
Really?
Yes,
now, that sort of surprises me because you know who I would say on the count of the football rivalry, you know. Yeah. But then that's great. It gives you another aspect. And Kennedy, expand on this a little bit. That you ladies, it's not necessarily Hoover, although you want to beat everybody, but it's Oak Mountain.
Yes, sir.
So that's talk about that rivalry.
They have a strong team. Their chemistry is good as well. I mean, they have a lot of commits already, and I feel like each one of their players has something to bring to their team too. So if all of their players are equally like equipped for their team, then I feel like it's hard for us as well. But
yeah, well, is that who you would consider your #1?
I would say that too, yes, sir.
Yeah, and you feel the same way, Abigail?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, now let me tell you what. Having said that, you know that both their boys and girls are #1 in the state right now. Finished #1 last year, so that gives you a little more fire in there to know that, hey, if you want to be #1, you know what you got to do and who you got to beat, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, now this is the first time that I've met you girls. And one thing I'd like to find out about athletes, whether they be male or female, is do you have a hobby or do you have a superstition that I wouldn't know about, but it would surprise me if you told me. Example, you like to sing in the shower, but the minute the shower goes off, you sound like mud. But you know how we are. We think that way. Or you might be superstitious. Lindsay, what would that be about you?
Well, like before every game, this beginning of the season, we started writing why on our wrists. And it's like why we're out there to play and why we play soccer. And so now, like before every game, I feel like I've got to write that on my wrist.
Weird, but different. That's the first time I've ever had an athlete tell me that. Yeah, but it's whatever floats your boat, right? It gets you going. Kennedy, what about you?
I like to cook.
You do? What kind of food do you like?
Mac and cheese. In the microwave.
Yeah, you know, my granddaughter and you would hit it off wonderfully because that's all she knows how to say, and she knows Granddaddy does not like cheese. The only, I'll go into a Spanish restaurant, I'll say, when it's no cheese, which means don't put none of that stuff on mine. But okay, that's cool. Abigail?
I play piano.
No.
I do.
Classical, rock and roll, or regular?
Right now it's classical. I'm trying to get more like pop songs.
Really? How long have you been playing the piano?
Well, like consistently?
Yeah.
Well, I started back in 10th grade.
Really?
So this is my third year.
Okay, so had you picked it up or played a little bit before then?
Yes, sir.
You had?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. One other question I will ask y'all. Being seniors, and I don't know, if you have scholarships, let me know, but if not, and if you could go to any college, where would you go? And we'll start with you, Lindsay.
I'm attending Stanford University, playing soccer there, so
Okay.
I feel pretty set there, and that's where I would pick if I could pick anywhere to go.
Okay, great. Kennedy, how about you?
University of Alabama. That's where I'm going, and I still haven't decided if I want to play soccer yet, so I might try out for the team, and if that doesn't go, I'll do club soccer.
Oh, whatever, you going to Bama, you're going to be number one. I'm telling you.
Yeah, we'll die.
Abigail, how about you?
I'm going to Walker College. I'm also playing soccer. So
Well,
I
good.
feel very happy
Good
to
for
be
y'all. Do any of you have aspirations maybe of being a soccer coach one day?
Well, like I've helped out with coaching and stuff like that, and it's something that I would enjoy doing like in my free time, but I'm headed on a physical therapy route, so.
Okay, good. And what do you want to do one day?
I want to be a business marketing manager.
Really?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
You want to own the soccer team,
Yes,
right? And how about you?
I don't know what I want to do, but I could definitely see like coaching a small team when my kids are young.
Okay, now the last question I got is the most important one. At this point in your young lives, who's been the most inspirational person or persons? And we'll start with you, Lindsay.
My parents have definitely been the most inspirational. They've driven me everywhere, and like anytime I need something, if it's like any drama, any soccer, grades, they've always been there through everything, so.
Good.
For sure, my parents.
I'd have to say my parents as well. They've always supported me with whatever I do, so I'm not afraid to make a decision because I know that whatever I do is.
And they're supporting
Yes,
you,
sir.
right? Okay, and how about you, Abigail?
I feel the same way because especially being an athlete, you need your parents there throughout everything. They take you everywhere. They take you to every practice, every tournament, no matter how far away it is. So without them, like, you wouldn't be able to do anything like that or accomplish what we've accomplished.
Well, I tell you what, girls, you've been delightful to be on. And here's the one thing I will say as a last parting shot. I hope you haven't played your best soccer yet, okay? Good luck in the playoffs, okay? Folks, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, another coach, more athletes. Don't you go away. We'll be right back.
And this will be your premium right here.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say I combined home and auto with State Farm.
Saved $760.
Love this guy.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Bundle home and auto, and you could save $760.
That's 760 very good reasons to call Ted Townley in Homewood today.
Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven. A taste of heaven is always best. Now you know that you're blessed. Give your taste a whole new spin. Bring your friends and come on in. Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
And folks, welcome back, and we have changed gears. It was soccer, now it's going to be softball. We're happy to have Barry Brake, the head softball coach at Gardendale. Coach, good to see you.
It's nice to be here.
And before we get into our conversation about you and your team, tell us a little bit about your background for people maybe seeing you for the first time and what's led to you being the coach here at Gardendale.
Well, I've been at Gardendale for 24 years now. I have a background in baseball. Head baseball coach from 93 to I guess 06, and completely got out of coaching. Had young kids at the house and felt like I needed to spend time with them, and was not looking for an opportunity to get back into coaching. And the principal kept talking with me, and we talked about some different things, and he basically talked me back into it. And so I've been softball coach at Gardendale now. This is going on my second year.
Oh, okay. Well, all right, then here's the obvious question. Tell me the difference between coaching guys and girls and what you can say.
Well, you know, everybody asks me that, what is the big difference? And even some of my former players, you know, say, Coach, how are you doing this? And I would tell them, say, guys, we're doing the same thing that I used to do with y'all. There's some aspects of the game that's different. I said, but you still got to throw, you still got to catch it, you still got to hit it, and you got to go work and become competitive and learn how to compete.
Well, I tell you what, looking at your overall record, y'all have had a really good season thus far. Now, coming into this season, did you foresee the team playing as well as they have?
I thought we would have an opportunity. Of course, you know how all that goes. You got to be lucky sometimes. This group that I have right now, they work very hard. They've created some of their opportunities that they've had this year. Like I said, we've had some luck. I think as we look back at the end of this season, we look back on it, I think they're going to pick out a handful of games that, you know, we could have had a better effort here. And to be honest with you, I think our season could have been a little bit more successful than what it has been. But you give other teams credit, you know, because other teams are going to show up, other teams are going to play their best, and, you know, the season has been successful. But it's all about how you finish.
Yeah, well, and I was going to allude on that a little bit. You know, every coach, what his hope is whatever team, whatever sport he's coaching, that they peak come playoff time.
That's right.
All right, now, in this season, it doesn't look like y'all have had a lot of peaks and valleys. So the team has played at a high level, but still, the goal is for the best to be at playoff time. Do you see that happening?
Absolutely. We started talking about that last year. You know, there's certain games that we need to play well in. You know, there's certain games that are important. And we hit a little lull a couple of weeks ago. We had to get a few little things worked out. We had a tremendous week last week. I went to the Hoover tournament last weekend, went 4-2 in the tournament. And the bottom line is, the way the softball season boils down to, you know, whoever wins that last game in the area tournament and whoever wins that last game in the regional tournament. You know, you can boil it down to those two games, because you got to win that last one in the area tournament to get to the regional, right. And you got to be one of the last ones in the regional to get to the state tournament. And you can't play for a state championship if you don't get there.
Right. Well, having said that, are you a coach? And I know that in most sports, the head coach is responsible for the schedule, right? Mm-hmm. Are you one of these coaches that you believe a team can lose to quality competition and still improve? That the tougher the competition, the better your team has a chance to be, even if they don't win all of them?
I think that if you look at our schedule last year, I think we improved the schedule on the quality of competition. I think if you looked at the schedule this year, it has improved even more. And by that I mean, and we were talking about this just earlier this afternoon, that put our teams that we played, write them down, and go out beside them and look and see how many top 10 teams we played, no matter what classification they're in. Because, you know, one of the best teams that we played this year, and we've ended up having to play them 4 times, is the #1 team in 2A. Okay, well, everybody would say, well, that's a 2A program. I say go line up and play them, because they are a quality program. I mean, they've got a handful of kids that are going to be playing in the SEC. So I guess to answer your question, yes, I want to play good competition, because when we get to the area tournament, we get to the regional tournament, we get to the state tournament, I don't want that to be the first time that these kids have been in a big ball game. It's just second nature at that point.
Well, are you one of these coaches that you feel like as long as you can keep that team at a certain level and try to prevent those ups and downs, then by the time that season comes to an end, they should be right where they ought to be.
You've got to be battle tested, and you know those kids have to be put in those situations before you reach that point in the season, and you know they know what to expect. It's you know the nerves are gone. You know, it's another game, and let's go play it at a high level.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that I wonder a little bit about too is a lot of coaches' philosophies have changed the last few years. Do your softball players, do many of them participate in other sports, or are they strictly softball?
No, I have a few that play volleyball. I have a few that play basketball, and I think that's all part of being a high school athlete.
I do too.
Over the years, I would get accused with the guys a lot of times, said, hey, you want them to play just one sport? And I said, no, I want them to play everything that they can possibly play, because 99% or more of those kids will never get to play it again. So, you know, if you have that opportunity, if you enjoy playing it, play.
Yeah, you know, I have this conversation with coaches and with doctors in particular, and all the doctors, and I've had them on the show here to talk about that fact, that an athlete is a whole lot more rounded as a total athlete if they participate in more than one sport and not just wear themselves down using the same muscles. Like in softball or baseball, you worry about arm trouble, just wearing them out, you know. And it's hard to, in this day and time, it seems like we're leaning more and more toward the one sports star.
You have so many kids that specialize right now. You know, and I talk to parents all the time about this. If your child enjoys playing, that's one thing.
Right.
There's no need to force it on them, because I'm a firm believer. I think at some point you've got to give your body a rest. And, you know, and we'll get through with our season. We'll do some things at the beginning of the summer. We'll go to a team camp and all that. Then we'll reach a point that I'll tell my girls, get away from me. Go do something you enjoy. Go have a summer. Now, some of them are going to continue to play on you know, some of the travel teams and some stuff, but I think it's very important for them to get away from it for a little while. You know, enjoy themselves. You know, have a summer, have a vacation, and don't just let your body recuperate just a little bit.
Well, I was going to say, you've got the right idea there, I think, but the most important thing now is we're hoping that these girls are peaking at the right time, which is tournament time.
Absolutely.
Wish you all the world in the tournament, and I tell you what, y'all win a title, we'll come back up here and celebrate together, okay?
I tell you, we're going to work towards it. You know how that goes. A lot of luck comes involved, but we're going to work towards it.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
We'll take a quick break. When we come back, 4 young ladies very instrumental in the outstanding season Gardendale's had thus far. We'll be right back. Land of Frost Premium is America's best-selling 1-pound deli pouch, now available in 12 delicious flavors, including new flavors of mesquite turkey and cotto salami. High school athletes across the country ask for Land of Frost by name. These great items are available at your local grocer, including Piggly Wiggly, Food Giant, Western supermarkets, and many more. Land of Frost also makes other varieties of lunch meats, including deli shaved bistro and sub sandwich kits. Land of Frost is a proud sponsor of youth sports as well.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. Now, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
You know that you're blessed. Give your taste a whole new spin. Bring your friends and come on in. Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven.
And folks, welcome back. In this segment, you can tell I've got 4 beautiful young ladies up here. And yes, they're athletes, so let's just get it where it's supposed to be. You girls are all pretty and dainty and all that, but you're doggone good athletes, okay? First of all, good to see all you girls, and sitting closest to me, Caroline Burns, senior, second base.
Yes, sir.
Bailey Moffitt, senior, third base.
Yes, sir.
We've got Brooke Lyles, a junior, catcher. Yes, sir. Oh, you're the boss. And then we've got a 10th grader, Cheney Phillips. You're the shortstop.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, girls, going into this season, we'll start with you, Caroline. First of all, y'all have had a great season thus far. Now, going into the season, what were your expectations? What did you think y'all might be capable of?
Well, we worked really hard in the off season. We had goals to go to the state championship, and that's our big goal right now. So we knew going in that we had to work hard every day and get better each day. So we knew in order to do that, to get to the state, we're going to have to get better each day.
Okay. Now, Bailey, one thing that makes a team either the best that they can be or not so good is team chemistry. Now, I've heard a lot of things about guy athletes. I know that firsthand. But I've also heard that you ladies can be hard to deal with sometimes. You have your little personality flaws. But I'm wondering, because if y'all like each other, then you become not only the best you can be as an individual, but the best you can be as a team. Talk about the chemistry between this little group and the rest of y'all's players.
We definitely have a good team chemistry. We've all played together since we were 7 and 8 years old. And we mesh well together. We play good together and we get along. We're all really close.
Well, that's very important. Brooke, one question that I would ask you, are you a one-sport star or do you participate in other sports?
I played volleyball my freshman and sophomore year, but due to an injury, I decided to settle down and just do softball because I love it so much.
What, do you play travel ball?
Yes, sir. I play travel ball for the Vipers.
Oh, okay. Well, I guarantee it's like Coach talks about. I mean, there's good and bad to that. And what the good is that you're going to end up being the best you can be. What the worst could be is you could wear yourself out or something like that. So whatever fits you is what you ought to be doing. So you're not wearing yourself out, are you?
I hope not.
Okay. Now, Cheney, being a shortstop, what is your strength? Is it the defense or the batter's box, a hitter?
A little bit of both. I struggle sometimes at the plate, but normally my defense backs me up. So it just depends on the day. Well,
yeah, there you go again. You know how you girls are. Some days are diamonds, some days are stones, right? Okay. As Caroline, what team do you look forward to playing the most, or who is your biggest rival?
Well, our biggest rival in the area is probably Walker.
Really?
Yes, sir.
So are they the team that you feel like if y'all can beat, then y'all got probably a pretty good chance of having an outstanding season?
Yes, sir.
Really? Okay. Bailey, who do you look at like that?
Walker.
Walker?
Mm-hmm. Definitely Walker.
Definitely Walker, okay. Brooke, do you not like playing against somebody else?
Probably Walker and some to Christian, just because they're both good teams.
Yeah.
And I feel like we compete well with them.
Now, do you girls feel like, now I know how athletes are, do you feel like in order to be the best, of course you got to beat the best, but do you enjoy lining up against teams, that are maybe a little bit better than you, and then you beat them, and you feel better about yourself, and you're taking a step forward?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Well, as you get into here, as we close in on the playoffs, Bailey, are you playing y'all playing your best softball, or is it still ahead of you?
I think, lately we've sort of been in a slump, but the past couple of games we've gotten back up there. But I think we can still get to our highest point.
Yeah, well, Cheney, do you think that you still got a little more left in the tank? You hadn't played your best yet?
I'm hoping we'll hit our best spot at the right as area and regionals approaches. Coach Brake always told us if we're playing our best game, our first game we come out there, we're not the best we can be at the end of the season. Our goal is to be our top-notch, beating our top-notch competition and playing our best then.
Well, I tell you what, Cheney, you talked about your defense a while ago, maybe being your strong suit a lot of the time. There's an old saying, and it applies in every sport. If you play good enough defense and you got pretty good pitching and nobody scores on you, you got a pretty good chance of winning those games, don't you? What I'm saying, it's not in just football defense wins championships. Sometimes it's the other sports as well. So if you can keep the games close, then all of a sudden the bats might come alive, mightn't they? Okay, now girls, this is the first time I've met y'all, and so girls are like guys. I know they have superstitions, or they might have a talent that I don't know. And meeting y'all for the first time, I don't know anything about you girls. Some of you might like to fish, some of you might like to square dance. I do not know. Or you might like to sing in the shower or write poetry. But what I want to know, Caroline, if there was one thing about me or about yourself that you could tell me that might surprise me, what would it be?
I'm very superstitious.
You are. Now see, that's something else. Athletes are superstitious human beings. You know it?
Yes,
I don't know
sir.
why. Why do you believe in jumping over the chalk line?
No, I think we wear certain jerseys. Like if we play good, we keep wearing that jersey and we tell everybody not to wash it until we lose.
I was going to ask that very question. Do you wash them? And you're going to say, no, not till we lose?
Not till we lose.
Well, bless your heart. Bailey, how about, what would I need to know about you?
I'm definitely very superstitious also.
And how? Give me an example.
Whenever we win ball games, like we have a maroon jersey, and I couldn't tell you the last time we washed it because
no,
we
guarantee.
play so good
Looking at that record, it probably ain't been washed. Do people shy away from you in the dugout?
Sometimes.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Well, Brooke, how about you?
I have a coin, and it's a Jesus coin with a Bible verse on it. And I have to play with it in my pocket every game. If I don't play with it in my pocket, I have to every game.
You are strange. Yeah, that's all, but we all got our quirks, okay? Cheney, how about you?
Well, it probably won't surprise you, but I'm superstitious just like them.
Really?
Like I wore a flower in my hair this weekend and that hit really good. So I started wearing it all my games now. And I feel like if I wear a bow instead of it, then I might not do it as good.
My goodness, girls, some of this stuff y'all got to work through. Okay? The coach hopes that, boy, don't drop that flower, don't lose it, or something like that, you know. All right. The other thing that I would like to know, especially from you seniors, Caroline, where are you going to school?
University of Alabama in Huntsville.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Is it on scholarship?
Softball scholarship.
And
yes, sir.
what do you hope to be one day?
A nurse practitioner.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Boy, you come right out with that. I was going to say, doctor, lawyer, Indian chief. I didn't know which one. That's good. So you never had aspirations of being a softball coach?
Well, I do, but after I have kids and stuff.
Oh, okay.
When they get
Put
older.
it in this perspective, way down the road
Yes,
somewhere?
Sir.
Okay. Bailey, how about you?
I'm going to the University of North Alabama.
Really? And what kind of courses are you going to take?
I want to go into nursing.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's good. Going to injured teammates, you can help them out, right? No, well, that's terrific. Well, now, Brooke, you're just a junior. Have you got any idea where you would like to go?
I'm committed to the University of North Alabama for softball.
Really? And so what kind of subjects are you going to take?
I'm going to major in Spanish and be a Spanish teacher and coach.
Really? Oh, you think you'd like that coaching, huh? All right. Cheney, it's way too early to worry about what you could change your mind 100 times. But girls, the last question I've got, and we'll start with you, Caroline, to this point in your young life, who's been the most inspirational person or persons?
Probably Coach Brake. Because when our freshman sophomore year, we were struggling softball-wise, and coming in as a new coach, starting a new program, he helped us build up our team, get into a better program, and he's helped us get into a way better record than we ever expected to be.
Good. Bailey, how about you?
I would say my grandfather.
Okay. Well, sometimes our grandparents are very inspirational to us. How about you, Shane?
I would say Coach Brake because I can't remember the last time we went out to practice and didn't have fun. We're always smiling, laughing, hooting and hollering, and he's always having a good time with us. He sets a good example.
And you know what? You should just hit me in the head because I know you're Brooke. Okay. Well, no. I'm not embarrassed by that because I've made that mistake over and over. And I said, girls, don't be afraid to correct me. Cheney, and how about you?
Probably my parents, just because they always support me and always provide for me, like financially, for softball and stuff.
Well, good. Well, I tell you what, girls, one thing we hope for you is your best softballs ahead of you, okay? And good luck to you girls, seniors, going off school next year.